What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7. Now today I'm going to be possibly starting a new build series on this game. It's going to be drag car builds. Now I think drag car builds may not be the most interesting thing to some people, but and they might not be the most interesting to watch. However, I don't really just want to do driving around the track again, because I found that a little bit boring in Forza Motorsport 6. So I want to try and do these drag car builds. I'm going to be doing a bit of a twist, where I'm going to be actually opening a prize crate. Whatever car I get in the prize crate, I will do the build on. So, I could get some random, weird, wacky cars instead of picking the cars myself. So, I mean, you already know what car it is because it's in the title. However, I don't yet. So, yeah, I guess this is more of a surprise for me than anything. And it makes it so that we can get some interesting cars. Now, I don't want to buy. I want to open. I'm just going to add advanced mix crate. We're going to open it up. See what car we get. Let's see what we get, 'cause I'm pretty sure we get a car with every crate. So far we got some of these things, and then okay, Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, the Lotus Carlton. Alright, so we're gonna upgrade this car. We're gonna have drag tires on. I think I'm gonna try and upgrade it to the top of S-Class. However, we will see where it goes. Alright, so the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton is now built. It has 739 horsepower, 496 torque, 2,885 pounds of weight, and it is at 749, halfway through S-Class. Now I said I wanted to get up right up to the top of S-Class, however I couldn't quite do that with this car. That is as high as I got, so I guess for this series we're probably looking at 750 for the maximum for cars. It's going to be interesting how the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton does. It is of course rear-wheel drive. All cars in this series are going to be rear-wheel drive. And if I have to convert them or whatever, they're all going to be rear-wheel drive. This was rear-wheel drive anyway. And it of course has drag tires on, and the biggest tires it can. So let's see how the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton does on the 3 different drag strips, because I'm going to do all 3 lengths: the quarter mile, the half mile, and the full mile. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so I've decided to do this at the Test Track Airfield drag strip. We're starting off with the quarter mile drag race. So we're basically going to have 3 leaderboards for this series. We're going to have one for the quarter mile, one for the half mile, and one for the mile, because some cars may do better at the mile than they would at the quarter mile. So let's see how this car does on the quarter mile drag strip. Now I have the cars, I have it on manual, so I change gears myself, because I've got used to that with the controller now. So let's see how the Lotus Carlton goes on this quarter mile. It's a very, very slow start actually. This car seems to have really long gears. You really have to. That was a bit of a late shift there, but we did it. 10.177. 10.177. That is our time. I slightly messed up that first gear, but we're only going to do each drag strip once. So quarter mile for the Lotus Carlton, a 10.177. Alright, so now it's time for the half mile drag race. The Lotus seemed to start really, really slowly. Maybe the acceleration will build up later on, so this could possibly be a better thing for this car. As you can tell, the gear ratios, the gears are really, really bloody long. Like, really long. Look, we're almost getting up to 10,000 RPM. Before we switch up, let's switch up a little bit sooner that time, so we don't lose that time. There we go, that's a lot better. We didn't have a particularly great start in that one, a little bit bogged down at the start, but I mean this car doesn't get off to a particularly good start anyway. It really doesn't get off that great. So what was the time for that half mile? 16.216 for the half mile drag. Alright, so here we go. This is now the full 1 mile drag for the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton. I have a feeling this could be where the car is better. I feel like it would be better here than it was the other two. It seems to have some later acceleration, more than kind of, starting acceleration. I think that was a bit of a better start there. It's really hard to know how to properly start this car, because it does have a bit of a crappy launch no matter what. Alright, we're getting up some good speed here, up to 170 miles an hour. See, when you get the power down, the car really does accelerate. We're getting up to 190. Can we hit 200 before the end? Ooh, it's going to be close. No, 199. 199 miles an hour before the end of the straight. So we got almost 200 miles an hour there, which is pretty crazy. And the time for the car, the 1 mile drag race, a 25.743. Alright, so there we have it, guys. That was the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton doing the drag race, the drag car build. Tell me what you guys think of this series. I know it's a bit of a, maybe not the most interesting series. I think it's quite interesting though, the fact that I don't know what cars I'm going to be driving. I mean, you guys know from the title what cars I'll be driving in each video, but you know, these are possibly going to be some cars that I wouldn't usually drive because I'm just picking a random, like it's just like, oh, lucky dip, what car will the game give me? So I think that's quite interesting. However, drag racing as a whole, maybe it's not the most interesting thing, just, you know, driving by myself. Tell me what you think of this series, guys. I think it's just a bit more interesting. I can tell by my mouth I need a drink because my mouth is really dry right now. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Comment what you think about the series, and I'll see you guys in the next video.